Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1, rolling. Yo, what's up? It's me, LA. LA like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Repping Saginaw, Michigan, not Saginaw, Texas. Saginaw, Michigan, not Saginaw, Texas. And I was supposed to been started this video about an hour and a half ago, but I ran into all kinds of problems. That gets old real quick. I don't care what people say. You know how people are going around saying like, oh well, if you're about to have technical difficulties with your video like that, that's just the devil. So even if it is, I'm not gonna sit up here take it all the time, or your video about to be good, or you must really got something good to say, cause every time you about to do your video, you running into problems. I'm not going to accept that. I did at first, cause yeah, but not for the rest of my life. I mean, every single time, do it really gotta be a problem? I'm supposed to have been like on my third video by now. I am so behind now. Well, what's up? It's me, and today video is I wrote it down. Stupid psychologists. To the people who think they know everything about everyone since they took some psychology classes. That's what I want to talk about today. Because there's nothing wrong with taking some psychological courses to get to know people and how they function so you can at least go around here not want to be so quick to chop people's heads off because you don't know why they just can't get their crap together. Sometimes if you get so cliche, walk a mile in their shoes, you'll see the layers behind the layers, like Shrek said. Layers! I have layers! So, stupid psychologists, the people who think they know everything about everyone. I I um I think you should be respectful to those people who you consider uneducated in the Department of Psychological courses, because just because we may not know everything, hi, or all the terms like you do, don't give you the right or that seat to make you feel like you're superior to them, because that's not right. And I'm saying this out of experience because I'm going back in my archives of like high school and before I had my first child and all of that, and taking into account of how all the people who were supposed to help mold us, like teachers and preachers or whatever, how they were supposed to help guide you in the right direction, opposed to using your psychology degree to help. They used it as a crutch, at least for me growing up. And it didn't make sense because I'm like, you taking all these classes and you're supposed to be here helping people so they won't go in the wrong direction, right? But opposed to teaching us not to go in the wrong direction, it's like, oh, I see you have X, Y, and Z going on with you. And so it's like, okay, you feel that I have X, Y, and Z going on with me. What are you going to do to help, opposed to digging up statistic after statistic saying, oh, you grew up in a broken home, you're never going to have this. Oh, you grew up without your mom, you're going to be like this. How can you say that to anyone? Even though the statistics say it, don't mean that's going to be everybody's fate. They may even go down that path, but they may not stay on that path. You are supposed to buffer that from happening. But when I grew up, all I unfortunately came across were people who were older than me. Yeah, textbook cliche advice, nothing genuine about it. And it sure don't fix anything. You're right about that. And so it's like, why are you even here? Oh, so you can feel better than everybody. For example, I was really young. I was in college my first year. So I graduated in 2002, and unfortunately, I made the bad choice of going straight to college. I wasn't ready yet. Shoot, I needed a break. But that's another story. So I ran into someone who was older than me. Didn't know. They lied. Here we go. and then started just nitpicking about things that were wrong with me, based on how quiet I was, based on how I wore my hair, based on how I dressed, and even based on the fact that I was undecided about picking a course in college. I'm like, first of all, hello, how are you doing? Second of all, why are you over analyzing me? Like, you done lost your mind. Then I want to turn around and help you and give you rides to college, and you just basically intellectually pick me apart, thinking that I'm not gonna be wise enough to catch that you just dissed me on some textbook level. At that time, it was hard for me to explain, but no person who ever took psychology should ever put people down like that and think you're skating circles around their head and talking about them in all these bigger words just because you can get away with it. You have to use your psychology skills or psychological skills to help people. I can't stand it. It's just not right. Psychiatrists are supposed to help listen to you, not listen to you just so they can throw your name under the bus. And a lot of people are still unfortunately experiencing that. Some people don't want to go to a psychiatrist because they don't really like talking to strangers. They would rather talk to someone they love and family or best friend. But come to find out, when they do that, that's where the S hits the fan, and then Pookie, Riri, Shaniqua and them know all your business because you went to someone and you thought you can trust. But staying on the subject here, to the people who think they know everything about everyone, don't do that because it hurts. And I'm coming from personal experience. I was in a long term abusive relationship to which I didn't know how to get out of. And unfortunately, that person who kept me down so long did take tons and tons and tons of psychology classes and use that against me based on the studies. So, having said that, I grew up in a very sheltered, over religious household. So, when I finally got out on my own, I was not equipped at all to handle this world. So unfortunately, someone who was older than me took advantage of that and read all the signs that you're supposed to look for, and I was stuck for a long time in that. It took years to get out of that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is true. You have to protect yourself, but if you are growing up surrounded by people who aren't equipping you for this life, it's gonna be hard because you're gonna unfortunately fall victim to these people who take psychology courses simply for the fact to take advantage of others. And I was a person who was victimized for years, more than 5 years in this relationship because of that. To the people who think they know everything about everyone since they psychology classes, you will have blood on your hands if you are using your gifts and talents for wrong reasons to find weak people to leech off of. That's not right. What goes around comes around. Psychology is cool. It is wonderful. It is nice to know about the human emotion and psyche if you want to use it to help yourself, to help others, but not to just be nosy about it. Why would you do that? Um, there's a lady I know who took psychology, and the way she carried herself when she mentioned that she took psychology made me weary, because from that moment on, I felt like when she approached me to talk to me, she was only examining me like some lab rat. So it was like I dreaded talking to her, even though at the same time I was happy to see her alive and well. But with these people, man, it's like I don't really want to talk to them if you're approaching me that way just to pick me apart. You shouldn't do that because most people can feel that, but it's like, do you separate yourself from that without causing too much commotion. You can say, "Hey, how you doing?" and that's about it. And unfortunately, you have to keep it short because why would you want to associate or be around people like that who take all these classes and only like to talk to you because they want to pick your brain? Why not just want to have a decent conversation? Don't come up to anybody just to see if they're still crazy to your standards or not all there to your standards or haven't grown or haven't developed in your to your standards. How dare you, and shame on you. Psychology is a wonderful tool to help people and or yourself to grow and to develop and to be aware that no one is perfect and that all these psychological scenarios that they do provide in these books unfortunately have happened to people and will continue to happen to people. Psychology is here to provide you with an introduction to other people's lives so you can kind of know how to wear other people's shoes based off of what you study, but it's not used to make fun of people. um I want to say more about it. I just wish psychological people wouldn't do that to people and take advantage of folks like that, because it's not cool. um it's very tiring because I went through it. Like I said, I was in an abusive relationship. Thank God I got out. I'm happily married now. Hi. But I'm saying before then, for the people who aren't in a relationship where it's more mentally draining than physically draining, I urge you to get out of that, because I don't care if he or she's got the breadwinner and you thinking like, what am I gonna do without him or her? You need your mental is way more important than some money in the bank shorty what you drink. You know what I'm saying? You have to save your mental. You're gonna need it. You can always get all that other stuff again. You may not want to start over because you built so much, but I swear to you, you need to keep your mental status as 100 as possible. I urge you to get out of those relationships. Don't worry about your stuff. If you have an opportunity to break free, just please get out. Don't worry about getting your stuff. Just get out. For the younger girls, because I'm 34, but for the younger girls who are knowing everything, who pick up everything, they call them fast. I don't really like that term, even though that's what they are. I wouldn't say that because a lot of them, they're just quick learners at a certain age. They don't really start acting like a thought until you know. So, having said that, girls who like to date older guys, please be careful, because when I was younger, unfortunately, I was with someone who was older. He lied about his age and then constantly told his friends that you should date a young girl, get them while they're dumb. Date a young and dumb girl so she'll never know how to leave. So you can always run circles around her head. So, ladies, just because you fine and got a booty and a breast, yeah, that's gonna get everybody's attention, but don't forget the fact that they see your youth and they will probably equivalent that to you being dumb. Just because you are fast or pick up quick and know a lot of stuff, please don't get caught up. Please don't get caught up and find yourself trapped in an abusive relationship with somebody who 20 years older than you, controlling your money, your cell phone, your everything, your finances, because it's going to happen slow. So you won't be alarmed and you won't be so quick to run. They're going to start cutting off all your friends, making you stay in the house more, dictating how you should dress. You guys, take care of yourself out there. This world is moving 100 times faster. Teenagers, you girls and you guys, I love you all, but please, please be careful on Instagram. Just because you got a body and you light skinned it, or you mixed with something and you young and you pretty and all these men buying you stuff and you ain't even got to have sex with them, please be careful because they could be abusers too. Just be cautious. Do your thing, boo. But please put your safety first in all situations. And heaven forbid if you get caught up, please leave. Psychology, what is the psychological warfare is not a joke. I urge you to just slow down, breathe, quit running to your girlfriends all the time asking for advice because remember, you guys are all the same age, pretty much downloading the same information from Instagram and whatever you watch. And if you're just going amongst yourselves asking other what you should do, who you should date, or what you think about a guy, and you're only looking at chasing the bag and a quick fix of having this and that because it do make you feel good, and that stuff do make you feel good, but you're overlooking the main thing here, which is your sanity and not being caught up. I advise you to use YouTube to find someone who's been through some things to kind of guide you into making the right decisions. Breathe a little more before you just jump in. If you're going out to the club, just keep in mind that your friends may not have your back. Okay? So make sure you have number one in mind when it comes to safety, needing to get out of there just in case they had too much to drink and you can't drive because you don't have your L's. Psychological warfare from psychiatrist people who took all these classes are out there. And to me, unfortunately, when I grew up, it seemed like the main reason men took psychology is to just prey on us. So why don't you take psychology classes so you can be prepared, so you can watch when those guys are doing that? I'm getting ready to close out because I don't think I know. I don't think I think I said everything. So stupid psychologists to the people who think they know everything about everyone. Since they took some psychology classes, I urge you to please treat everybody with dignity and respect. If you can, guys, go to a professional psychiatrist where you know your information will be safe. Go to a psychiatrist. There's nothing wrong with that. Go get some help. That means you care about yourself and love yourself and to be protected from these people out here. If anybody have any questions before I sign out, please type them in and I'll do my best to answer them. If you have anything to say, go on and do that before I close it out. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for leaving your comments down there. Um, when I think of something else, I'll make another video. I think this is my second live video I've ever made. The first time I made a live video was about 2 years ago, and I was having so many technical difficulties, it just didn't even go through at all. So I'm happy this went through. Alright, this is me, LA, pronounced LA like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Record Saginaw, Michigan, not Texas. I'm from Saginaw, Michigan, not Saginaw, Texas. I'm about to wrap this up. Like, share, and all that coming at the bottom if you want me to talk about something else. Oh, wait. Story of my life. I grew up sheltered and made a lot of mistakes. I've been controlled before. Once I realized it was too late. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I want to stop the people before it's too late. And that's what I'm an adult now. That's what adults are supposed to do. If you have kids or know someone, don't make them learn the hard way. How dare you? If you walk down a path somewhere and it was wrong, Don't be ashamed to share it. Use those stories to let them know that you did this real. Because the next thing they're going to ask is, after you say don't do it, why not? Have you done it before? Tell them, yes, I have. And just lay it out there so they can believe you. Then you won't have it in your hands for not telling them your story. After telling them your story and telling them don't do it and knowing all you can, and they still go and do it, it's not your fault. Remember that. It will not be your fault. You did your part, you told them, and they still want to go out there and be hard headed. Not your fault. Remember that. Okay? All right. Please like, share, and subscribe. How you doing, El Guapo? I don't know if I said that right. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live your life. Don't live in fear. Parents, including myself, don't be scared to let your kids live a little, but don't give them a leash that's too long. Tell them your stories when it's time so you won't be accountable or held responsible for not telling them, okay? After you told your kids and told them and they still go out there and get messed up, it's not your fault. It's on them.